Hello there, ladies and gentlemen. So, this is just a game I've been playing single player actually, but it's been really interesting actually. Originally this solo game here, it began, I don't know, it began really with a demographic experiment really. I wanted to see if it was possible as France to really, I don't know, see what you could potentially do with literacy and just to see what you could do with the potential, like, demographic indeed. Just obviously like the amount of population involved as farmers, obviously employed as farmers. But I've kind of found a bit of an exploit here, which is actually rather interesting. And it's actually in regards to the formation of Italy, which is an event added by HFM for... so, for example, obviously France could create the Iberian Empire. It's a little bit like being able to create Yugoslavia. If you have all of it within your sphere of influence, then you can do that. But what I found here, what I did here as well is, like, the bloody issues of the Kingdom of Sardinia. The Sardinia Piemontes are the bloody problems to French dominion in Italy. So what I did is I had an early war I've allied with the Russian Empire, and we beat this snot out of the Austrian Empire. I released Lombardia, well, basically Lombardia, which obviously included Venice over here as well. But then obviously the bloody Sardinians started eating everybody up. But anyway, what I'm going to show you now is what I've been doing here. So we have our event here. Although our country has a monopoly on Italian affairs, it would perhaps be easier for us to have one strong ally instead of 7 or even 9 weaker puppets. Or, however, as you can see here, the important thing is the fact that inherits. That's the big thing there. So, we get the event over here. Now, what I can do, as you can see, we inherit all of Italy over here, barring the bloody microstates, which I should have really disabled from the start, but I forgot to do that. So as you can see, we do have all of the Italian state here. Well, all of the Italian peninsula under our control, barring the 2 microstates over here. But what I can do, and I think what it is basically, this is, yeah, so you can see here it would release the the Italian Empire, which is Southern Italian. I don't know whether it's like Southern Italian favoured or Northern Italian favoured. I don't know whether it just changes who's primary, who's secondary. But what I can do here then is if I go ahead, and you might think it's a little bit strange, but I think it's all predicated on who controls Rome. If I don't control Rome, then the event doesn't work. So what I'm going to do here then, I mean, the issue is I wish I could release Rome itself, i.e. the actual single province over here would be quite interesting. But unfortunately I can't. But what we can do, because obviously we do have the Papal States over here, that is the only Italian nation, barring the Kingdom of Italy, that has cores here. So what I can do, and what I can do to burn off some of the infamy as well, this event cost me 10 infamy, is what I can do here is I can release Romagna. There we go. So instead of releases Ravenna, Bologna, and Ferrara. But what I should now be able to do then is obviously release a smaller papacy over here. And then if I click this North Italian, you can see that the event obviously there decides it can't actually function properly. And we retain the Italian lands. So I think the key to this is obviously Rome. I mean, what you could do is you could potentially, like, remove Romagna, or even remove the papacy from Lazio over here. Remove it from the sphere of interest, the sphere of influence, I suppose you could say, and you could conquer it. And then you have the entire Italian peninsula under your control. Yeah, so I've been doing a bit of experimentation with this, really. And I think this is the only way, I think this is the best way. I experimented by releasing different nations of the Italian peninsula, just to see what happens, and it doesn't particularly matter. Like, you can release all these other nations, and it doesn't matter. As long as you have Rome, it will, the event will work. So it's very interesting. So as you can see over here, we have all of the bloody Italian peninsula, barring Romagna, and obviously the papacy under our control. But you can see that we have access to a lot more in the way of raw materials. I mean, for example, we have Milano over here, and that's 43 units of iron there. You can see how that really compares to the French sources of iron. That's a lot of iron. If we take a look at coal, obviously we don't have any coal over here in Italy, barring over here in Savoia. But this is really interesting. Really, really interesting. We do obviously have a source of sulfur as well. I mean, that's a lot of sulfur. That's a lot of spice. It's a lot of sulfur. But sulfur must flow. But you can see here as well, more wheat, more fruit, a lot more fruit as well. Lumber. Lumber's a good one. So it's good to have. fish. Yep, there you go. But another good one that we do gain here is obviously having more silk. Silk is very nice. I mean, this is it. The actual population density of the Kingdom of France and Italy is very interesting as well. Like, if we actually take a look then, so if I go here and take a look at the population, you can see that the population has increased to 13.26 million here at the moment, which is very interesting. I mean, owning the Italian peninsula should completely defeat the demographic catastrophe over here in the Kingdom of France. It is interesting. I mean, what I'm going to do here is run this campaign as an experiment. But it's something to bear in mind, actually, because I could actually create the Iberian Empire as a puppet. And we could almost have something of a Western Roman Empire to a degree. And obviously with the Napoleonic events, well, Napoleon III, I think it is, we could obviously conquer Wallonia, and we could actually do quite a lot. We could actually inherit the Rhineland as well. So you could actually really, in theory, create a, almost a Carolingian Empire. You could kind of go for similar borders, kind of work towards that. You've got, like, obviously France and Italy, and yeah, you got that. Yeah, it's kind of interesting. It's like a Western Empire here. It's kind of cool. But yeah, we'll take a look at this. You can see Campania is, yeah, largest state over here. We have Piedmont, Lombardia, Brittany, Rhone, Lombardy. Yeah, there you go. So you can see that is almost twice the population there of Ile-de-France. So that's very interesting. So I think what would actually happen then is maybe the French population over here, or the French pops might migrate over here due to the life rating, province life rating. So I don't know, it could be potentially possible to colonize Italy. I don't know. I wish there was a way to actually get Italian as an accepted population. Well, maybe. I think there is the partition of Switzerland that could be attempted. Let's see. Violate Swiss neutrality, let's see. War policy is jingoism. We could actually do this as a quick test. I'm going to point out I've not done this with, like... I don't have a jingoistic party yet. God damn it. I'll have to try that in the future, actually. But yeah, you can see that we do have the two Sicily events over here, which is very nice. Don't think I really gain anything from Sardinia Piedmont. But we still have the option here to actually create a new Italy. But yeah, and the beautiful thing as well, I've tested this in another game. Well, basically this game, but taking it further into the future. You can prevent the formation of Italy permanently like this. You can just divide it into as many Italian states as possible under the iron rule of France, and you will not have you will not have a unified Italy. It's really interesting. Now, let me see. Look at my screenshots over here. So Victoria. And, let's see. Yeah, so here is a possible future that I created. So this is obviously as the French Empire. But as you guys can see over here, so I unified... I don't know what it is. There's a problem with the actual Spanish, the Iberian Empire event as well. Basically, it doesn't really matter what you choose. It'll become Portugal for some reason, which is weird. So you can kind of turn the Iberian Peninsula into the Portuguese Peninsula, which is interesting. But as you can see there, I divided Italy up, and that was 1871, but yeah, I kept that until the 1900s, no issues, absolutely none of them. But it's very interesting, it actually gives you a lot to work with. I mean, Italy is quite the powerhouse, really. The armies as well. The two Sicilies the two Sicilies were able to build up over 100 industry, which is really good. You can actually have a very powerful series of puppets there. Very nice. So yeah, a bit of a random video. I'm going to see if there's any... I don't know, if there's any more experimentation that could be done here. But obviously, I always retain the ability to release different nations over here as well, which is very nice. Like, for example, I could release, let's see, Slovenia. So, I say Slovenia would have this province over here, so Gauls, which would mean that they would have cores over here. So that would give me the ability to potentially eat more of Austria. It's interesting, really. Very interesting. But yeah. Might be worthwhile trying to see if I can create Yugoslavia and have the Iberian Empire as well as a puppet. I think it's entirely possible. But this one's quite easy. But yeah, okay. Hopefully this doesn't get fixed because I'm going to exploit the hell out of this. And I don't think anybody's done this before in such an easy method. There are methods to basically annex entire countries, but I think this is the easiest way to do it. So thank you. Do let me know what you think down below, and I'll show you the demographics here once again. So you can see that in this dual monarchy of the Kingdom of Italy and France, well, France and Italy. You can see that French makes up 29.87% of the population, North Italy makes up 20.39%, Occitan 18.55%, South Italian 15.59%, of Breton. Yeah, very interesting. South German. But it's going to be intriguing to see how this actually works. I mean, what I'm going to do is just go through a few days here, and we'll take a look at the actual production. So if we take a look over here, so production, let's see, so iron, we're now producing nearly 20% of the world's iron. Only, yeah, not terribly much more in the way of coal. Silk, 5.8% of the world's silk. Obviously, China has something to say about that. Fruit, 20% of the world's fruit. 14% of the world's grain. Nearly 10% of the world's livestock. Very intriguing. Let's see, is there any factories I've inherited as well? Yep, there we go, so we inherit the industry as well, very good. If I take a look then, so if we take a look at workers, so there's 69,000 craftsmen in the Kingdom of France. I don't know, if I learned how to mod, I'd like to try and mod this and like create the Kingdom of France and Italy. It'd be really interesting. We could even have Transalpina from a Divergences of Darkness mod. But there we go. Thank you for watching, guys. I hope you've enjoyed this, and until next time, thank you. See you next time. Again, terrible at outros. Comment down below, let me know what you think. Goodbye for now.